Everybody, welcome back to Huge Sports and welcome back to the Miami Minute, where we cover my favorite team, the Miami Dolphins. Got the Jalen Waddle hoodie on today, though he did get hurt in this game, so he wasn't a huge part of things down the stretch. He got poked in the eye, he got his ankle rolled up on. Not good for him, but a great night to be a Dolphins fan. Let me be the first, well, probably not the first, but let me just say Merry Christmas to all of the Miami Dolphins fans because they had a 22-20 win over the Dallas Cowboys and clinched a playoff spot. Even if you don't celebrate Christmas, I hope you can take this and really enjoy it. Have a great night nonetheless. Let's get into the stats as we always do. So Tua led the way with 293 yards on 24 of 37 passing, one touchdown, no interceptions. Raheem Mostert led the way with 11 carries for 46 yards on the ground, also added a receiving touchdown there. And Tyreek Hill had 9 receptions for 99 yards. Dak Prescott led the way on the other side for 253 yards, 2 touchdowns on 20 of 32 passing. Tony Pollard, 38 yards on 12 carries, and CeeDee Lamb, 6 receptions, 118 yards, 1 touchdown. But very notably, only one of those receptions coming in the second half. He was tearing the Dolphins up. He had a 49-yard touchdown to start it off, but luckily they were able to keep him mostly in check for the rest of the game. This is a complete team win. The defense bent, but they didn't break. And Jason Sanders is the man of the moment. 5 field goals, 3 over 50 yards, including a 57-yard field goal. That's his career long. I definitely have complained about Jason Sanders on this show. I can't think of a specific time that it happened, but I am 100% sure that if you went through all the Miami minutes, you could find me saying that Jason Sanders just isn't the kicker that he used to be. But in this game, he certainly was. He looked like the 2020 version of himself, the all pro, the man who got himself a nice new contract. So you love to see that, especially going into the playoffs, getting this man's confidence as up as humanly possible. So what a great team win. The Dolphins did make us sweat this one out, of course. They were leading from the time they scored a touchdown with 17 seconds left in the second quarter. That was the Raheem Mostert 4-yard touchdown from Tua. They led 13-7, 16-7, 16-10, 19-10, 19-13. And then the Dallas Cowboys took the lead 20-19 with 3:27 left with just a great catch by Brandon Cooks, who's been really, really good for the Dallas Cowboys this season. That was an 8-yard pass from Dak on an incredibly long drive, a drive that kept being extended by penalties. But with no time remaining, Jason Sanders hit a 29-yard field goal. Tua, he looked a little off, and I don't want to bury that because he was throwing the ball a little higher than we're used to. He was not hitting the passes that we're used to him hitting. But when it mattered most, that last drive of the game, him and Mike McDaniel stepped up. Great play calling and great play execution there to walk off on a chip shot 29-yard field goal. It just feels really good. The Dolphins have clinched the playoffs 2 years in a row. That's crazy because, since I had been watching, I started watching in 2002 when I was 9 years old. The Miami Dolphins had only made the playoffs twice. They lost to the Ravens in 2008, and they lost to the Steelers when Tannehill got hurt and Matt Moore got horribly concussed, but stayed in the game. Different time in 2016. So to make the playoffs 2 times in a row, just amazing stuff. And I know, they were trending in the right direction with Brian Flores, but obviously personalities clashed. Tua was left a shell of himself when Flores was the coach for the Dolphins. So fortunately, we hired Mike McDaniel, and now 2nd year in a row, he's been the coach for 2 years, 2 playoff appearances, and on top of all of that, 11-4, most wins since 2008. Only won 11-5, and a chance to win the division next week when they play Baltimore, and clinch the 1 seed in the playoffs should they defeat Baltimore and then defeat the Buffalo Bills last game of the season, who also probably have a lot to play for in terms of making the playoffs there. So that should be fun. Next week should be fun against Baltimore. Obviously, at the time of recording, Baltimore hasn't played yet. They play Monday night against the 49ers. So end of the week, we could be in first place again. But that doesn't really matter because they have a head-to-head the next week. So very exciting time to be a Dolphins fan. Man, I don't really know what to do. You know, what do you do with my hand? That joke. It's just it's just been such a fun season, and there were a lot of doubts. Of course, the narrative that the Miami Dolphins couldn't defeat a team over 500, 0-3 to this point, but they did it. Felt like a playoff game too. Cowboys are good, and I think they're also a little underrated because they haven't beaten a lot of teams over 500. I'm sure now they get to deal with that even more than they already have. So, not fun day for me. This Dallas Cowboys team is very good. I've watched them a bunch of times here, and they can totally win a playoff game. So, should be interesting to see how it plays out for them this season. Other than that, yeah, just a really exciting time to be a Dolphins fan. I hope you enjoyed this. I know you enjoyed the game if you're a fan. Leave me a comment down below. Just telling me how you feel about the Dolphins clinching the playoffs. I'm so excited. I'm hyped as can be, and I'm sure you are too. So thank you so much for watching. We have all kinds of sports coverage, though not lately. Holidays. Tough to get people to record during the holidays. You know, we don't do this for any money, so extra difficult. But if you want to see us make money at some point because you enjoy our sports coverage, please subscribe, tell a friend. Other than that, check out our main channel. We get everything. Got a Christmas video up there, and then our podcasting channel, which is Better Radio. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a very happy holidays, and I will see you in the next one.